You goddamn motherfuckers. You fucking waltz in here and you think you know everything, don't you? Well, I fucking worked my fucking ass off to get to New York City. And you, sure as fuck, are not gonna fucking blow it for me.
We're just doing characters.
Barry, Jerry, clarify the situation for him, please.
Page 108, paragraph 3, no jokes dealing with flatulence, excretion, urination, ejaculation, or other bodily functions.
Also, no paragraph 2, no use of the so-called 7 dirty words. These are cocksucker, motherfucker, fuck, shit, cunt, cock, and pussy.
Now, from now on, all your little bits are gonna be under 2 minutes in duration. And all scripts, and I do mean all scripts, require my personal approval. Welcome to NBC, Howard.
66 WNBC.
It's time for the match game.
And thank you, Mr. Announcer. Hi, everybody. My name is Gene Sternburn, and welcome to Match Game. We have a lot of excitement in the air today because we have some great panelists. Let me introduce you to everybody. First of all, I want to introduce all of you to a very, very charming and beautiful lady, the very beautiful Miss Brett Summers. How are you, baby?
Hi, Gene.
Hygiene, that's something I don't think you have, to be honest with you.
Back off.
Okay, and let's now go over to somebody who I really admire, the ex-president of the United States, Mr. Richard Nixon.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
I'm very, very honored right now to introduce to all of you a very special man. He's come all the way to our show for the first time, Mr. Jackie, the Joke Man Martling.
Thank you, Gene. That's very nice.
All right, let's
Thank
play
you.
our game now, okay, shall we? And what we're going to do is ask you to fill in the blank, okay? Now, I want you to listen carefully. Our first clue up is blank willow. Blank willow. Let's go over to Miss Brett Summers right now. Now, Brett, what did you have for us? Blank willow.
The only thing on my mind, Gene, was pussy.
Uh-oh, pussy. All right. Hey, that's kind of wild. Pussy willow, that's what I would have said. All right, let's go over to Dick Nixon, former president of the United States. What did you have? Blank willow.
Any language? Pussy.
All right. All right, let's go to our newest member of the panel, Mr. Jackie Jokeman Martling Blank Willow.
Well, Gene, I didn't write it too neat, so I have a sloppy pussy.
Sloppy pussy!
pussy.
You got a sloppy and a fuzzy pussy and a very big
Talking
pussy.
about bread again.
All right, now let's keep going. Now it's going to get a little rougher. Okay, everybody ready? Blank a doodle-doo. Blank a doodle-doo. Blank a doodle-doo. You think about that while the celebrities are writing? Here we go. Let's go over to our Dick Nixon, our own ex-president. What do you got there, Dick?
Well, it takes a dick to know a cock, and that's what I wrote. Cock-a-doodle.
Now, that's what I would have said. That seemed like the obvious answer. Okay, let's go to our own Jackie the Joke Man Martling. Jackie the Joke Man?
Gene, I have cock, and I wrote it big. I have a big cock.
I don't think you can say big cock on the radio. I think that's a no-no.
What? But I just said pussy.
Yeah, she just said pussy.
Yes, pussy is okay. It's the way he says it. Big cock coming out of your mouth sounds awfully dirty.
So I can't say big cock, but you can say big cock coming out of my mouth?
That's correct.
That sucks.
Did you just say big cock coming out of your mouth and sucks?
All right. Enough of this nonsense. We got to go over to Miss Brett Summers.
Just like the boys, Gene, I've got cock.
There it is, cock. And you do me a favor. Do me a favor and hold that up so I can see your cock. I can't.
Gene, don't have one of your own.
All right, there it is. Cock, cock, cock. I must tell you, though, we have to end this fun right now. I want to thank all of you. Give yourselves a big round. Okay, let's have a little music, Phil.
You did not have permission to do that bit. I never approved that script, God damn it, Howard!
Wait a second. Calm down, okay, Kenny? Calm down. There's a perfectly good explanation.
I'm all ears, Howard. Let's hear it.
I gave the script to Fred.
And I gave it to Robin over there.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Kenny. I forgot to put it in your box.
There you go. Perfectly good explanation. It'll never happen again, Kenny.
You're goddamn right she's never gonna do it again. You're fired.
What?
Gather your things together, Robin. Let's go.
Oh, wait a second. Kenny, what are you talking about? She had nothing to do with the bit. She had absolutely nothing to do with it. It was all me.
Pack up your shit. I'm not kidding. Let's go.
Kenny, you can't blame someone over one lousy bit. You can't go firing them.
Oh, yes, I can, Howard. Robin, get the fuck out!
Hey, Phil.
What's up, James? What's going on with you?
Man, I got a lot to talk about tonight. Welcome to the AMC 8 Cage. Let's go.
Welcome Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, DD in your rib cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, kicking like Johnny Cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, welcome to the big stage, yeah, yeah. AMC 8 cage, 8's got the shorts on lock, engage. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, DD in your rib cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, kicking like Johnny Cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, welcome to the big stage, yeah, yeah. AMC 8 cage, 8's got the shorts on lock, engage.
Like got me out of meat immediately, possibly every single day. I swear I'm gonna find a better day. My enemies come bash me, track me down and catch me. Yesterday they cornered me to beat me down and never see. Imagine me, they used to call me Mr. Positivity. All when you pack in, devils started tagging. Got no time for money, no time for hoes. Now I got my bros and we got to carry on. I resurrect myself. Lazarus, he was a man who had the power of faith to get it rise. Open up your eyes and spy. Lazarus, better yet, open up your heart. Y'all imagine this.
Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, DD in your rib cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, kicking like Johnny Cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, welcome to the big stage, yeah, yeah. AMC 8 cage, 8's got the shorts on lock, engage. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, DD in your rib cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, kicking like Johnny Cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, welcome to the big stage, yeah, yeah. AMC 8 cage, 8's got the shorts on lock, engage.
You know I used to be ORTA rounds. Now I'm busting this bitch's head when I come round. Acting like the people that ain't never had shit. Looking through my brain saying that's some mad shit. I got damn with these dollars. The hoes ain't shining. Movie ain't rhyming. My bank ain't climbing. You looking at a multi-millionaire in the flesh. Like you had it up, like you just hand me your check. I can walk it like I talk it. Mean high steed. Preach you like I preach you. Now put that in your head, people. Put a gun, who the gun? Ain't nothing. Pop a pound, pop the crystal and drink some. Meet me in the casino, way in the back. You're running like a motherfucker, still shooting crack. You know I got back, I got millionaire stashes. I got so much money that the rich be looking at us.
Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, DD in your rib cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, kicking like Johnny Cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, welcome to the big stage, yeah, yeah. AMC 8 cage, 8's got the shorts on lock, engage. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, DD in your rib cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, kicking like Johnny Cage, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the 8 cage, AMC 8 cage, welcome to the big stage, yeah, yeah. AMC 8 cage, 8's got the shorts on lock, engage.
Let's have some fun tonight. Welcome to the AMC 8 cage.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Love doing research. Love having all this time to basically go ahead and get the facts straight, get to some real answers, and to basically explain and teach all of you out there to how this is actually going and what they're doing to manipulate the markets. Is it by the government? Sure is. Or governments? Yes. Is it by your market makers, your prime brokers, banks, central banks? Yes. There's a lot of things that are to this, and I'm going to show you and explain to you how they're doing it. So it's going to be a fun episode. We're also going to do Q&A. So if you guys do have any questions for myself, I'm also joined by my good friend Matt. Matt, how are you this evening?
I'm good.
That's always good to hear. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters, my friend.
Yeah, my phone's glitching a little, but we'll see.
Well, if it glitches and, it happens, then it happens. But we're here and we're going to be here to answer any of your questions that you guys do have, if you have any. Most importantly, it's time to start focusing on what you need to focus on and stop looking at the shiny new problem in the sky. Is it to the left? Is it to the right? Are they going to drop it here? What are they going to do? None of it matters. They're fucked. Plain and simple. And there's only one way out for it. That's it. And that involves you getting paid. Period. You're going to make whatever you want to make. It is up to you what your total is. If you want to hold to a ridiculous number, go ahead and do so. This is the only opportunity you're going to have to do it, because everything is going to change from a financial standpoint after this. I don't know if you agree with me, Matt, but that's from everything that I've read and seen, that's 100% what I'm seeing. Phone might be glitched. That's okay. So we are definitely going to go over some things, and we might as well kick it off if that's where we're at. So without further ado, AMC, it's cooking the stock market books with the return of the blame game. I'm about to open your eyes to the shadowy world of market mechanics, where the stakes are high and the players are elusive. This is a saga where the retail investor is often left in the dark. This expose promises to grant you backdoor access to the inner workings of the financial manipulation, revealing how equities are marinated in mystery and governments worldwide are implicated in this recipe. Prepare to be your own detective as we unravel the first segment of the series that's simmering with intrigue and boiling over with revelation. It's time to lift the lid on the secrets of our enemy, and our battlefield is the stock market. The blame game returns, and with a vengeance. In the intricate world of financial markets, the interplay between market makers, prime brokers, hedge funds, and government bodies is a complex dance that often leaves retail investors puzzled. The phenomenon of meme stocks such as GameStop, AMC, just to name a couple, has introduced a new dynamic into this mix, capturing the attention of the public and media alike. These stocks have seen unprecedented volatility, driven by a combination of social media influence and retail investor participation, leading to a significant price surges, often referred to as runs. The timing of the news release and market events can sometimes coincide with these runs, leading to speculation about the underlying reason. For instance, the sudden drop in Berkshire Hathaway's share price, which was later attributed to the technical glitch, quote unquote, raised questions about market stability and reliability of trading systems. Similarly, a new E-Trade potentially removing a prominent figure in the GameStop saga, known as Roaring Kitty, from its platform due to concerns of overstock manipulation adds another layer of intrigue. Moreover, the reverse repo, a key mechanism in maintaining liquidity and controlling interest rates dipping below 400 million, signals a shift in monetary policy and bank reserves, which can have a far-reaching implications for the economy.
Parents, our children are out of control. This is what happens when toilet humor is allowed to run rampant. That's right. Kenny set himself on fire because he saw Terrence and Philip do it in that dirty movie. We must stop dirty language from getting to our children's ears. We must go fight the source of it. But what is the source? Oh, that's easy. Times have changed. Our kids are getting worse. They won't obey their parents. They just want to fart and curse. Should we blame the government or blame society?
Or should we blame the images on TV?
No! Blame Canada! Blame Canada! For their beady little eyes and flapping heads of full of lies. Blame Canada! Blame Canada! We need to form a full assault!
Don't
son Stan. He saw the darn cartoon and now he's off to join the clan. And my boy Eric once had my picture on his shelf, but now when I see him, he tells me to fuck myself. Well, blame Canada, blame Canada. It seems that everything's gone wrong since Canada came along. Blame Canada, blame Canada.
They're not even a real country anyway.
My son could have been a doctor or a lawyer, rich and true. Instead, he burned up like a piggy on a barbecue.
Should we blame the matches? Should we blame the fire? Or the doctors who allowed it to expire?
Heck no! Blame Canada! Blame Canada! With all the hockey hullabaloo and that bitch on Murray too. Blame Canada! Shame on Canada! Oh, the smoke, we must stop the trash, we must crash the left and fun must all be undone. We must blame them and cause a fuss before somebody thinks of blaming us.
Moreover, the reverse repo market, a key mechanism for maintaining liquidity. The interesting thing about this is that, one, this hasn't happened since 21. It was the last time that was below 400. There's reasoning behind this. And this is signaling, one, that there is no money. The Federal Reserve has dick, a big bags of that. And they don't have a pot to piss in. I will explain later how all of a sudden you saw this inflow into the SPY. And I know Matt will be able to go over that a little bit more in depth. But I'll be able to explain to you all why there's still liquidity that's being pumped, but where it's being pumped from. Amidst these developments, the legal proceedings involving public figures like Anthony Fauci and Hunter Biden, unrelated to the financial markets, coincidentally emerge, adding to the whirlwind of information that investors must navigate. In such a landscape, I hope I have given this entire community knowledge and understanding of the market mechanics, and what I can't stress enough is the importance of thorough research. And it can't be overstated. Investors are urged to delve beyond the headlines and understand the mechanics of the market, the roles of various entities, and the impact of government policies. The diligence is crucial not only for making informed investment decisions, but also for discerning between substantive developments or distractions that may affect market participation. I want you guys to think about it. All the stuff that was dropped today, literally dropped, was all, the majority of it was in the morning. Right when, here, Berkshire Hathaway, then you come up with some of these YouTubers are saying that, oh, that and it was 5 other large stocks that were able to go ahead and actually fund the markets today. But where did the money go? Where was the transfer in between them? No one seemed to answer that question.
And I can tell you, it wasn't much money being added or taken out of the markets, because it's been normal. Is if you take the Nasdaq's been negative money outflow, and the SPY's been positive money inflow, and the balance in 2020 was an inflow of roughly 3 to 4 billion. By 2022 at the end, it was hitting 5, 6, 7 billion. Last month was the highest I ever seen it. S&P had a balance inflow of plus 8 to 10 billion. Today was under 3 billion. So when you're talking about that kind of volume, especially that's that morning spike, and then the late night rally on which hardly touched the 250 whatever million 5-minute candle that killed the SPY down at open. But suddenly it just rallies at the end of the night on comparatively nothing in volume, and the only new money added was about 1/3 of what it was money being added in the first quarter.
But that was to save the
don't add
market.
up. It don't make sense.
But just remember, the whole glitch on Berkshire Hathaway was just to save the markets. But there was no liquidity.
See, and that's what I'm saying. It wasn't new money because they're trying to paint a narrative that there's money on the sidelines waiting to get in, waiting for confirmation, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So all of a sudden, SPY hits a bottom, and all of a sudden, the SPY bounces back up the end of the night on next to nothing in volume. And like you said, there's not new money on the sideline. When you have a $3 billion balance between, inflow outflow of money actually going into the market that's new money, or money being taken out of the market completely, right? Transferring out of the market, right? And you're talking 2-3 billion across the whole market. That right there tells you it's not new money; it's a transfer. So that's them taking money out of one thing and then putting it into something else. So it fits to what you're saying, where you needed money somewhere else, you had to pull it from here to put it there.
Yeah,
and that's a zero balance on the net flow when you look at the monetary inflow outflow of the markets.
And that's, and that's the thing. And then they go ahead and start talking about quote unquote glitches. Now, Berkshire Hathaway is one of the most expensive stocks in the market. No one's affording that stock one share, regardless. Now, all of a sudden, going from $623,000 down to $185,000.
Wait,
And then
that's
going
what
right
it
back.
dropped? That's what it dropped to?
Yes.
Holy crap! On how much volume?
Next to none.
Yeah. See, that's
next to none.
The money had to be attached to something else.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden,
you can't. That kind of money pool isn't happening on that little bit of volume unless it's swap derivative back into something else, and that was being propped up through. Obviously.
And then within 20 minutes, Matt, they had the New York Stock Exchange coming out saying that, quote unquote, it was a glitch, it happened, and now it's corrected. And now all of a sudden it's back from $185 back up to $623,000 within 20 minutes.
So that was they just rolled back in.
Yeah,
they
correct.
extended the collateral. They recontracted and pushed the date out. Same thing I say they do with our option.
So that leads perfectly into the next topic, which is the Roaring Kitty. Now, Roaring Kitty, granted, I'm happy that he's back. That's wonderful. Can I tell you something? It's the main thing that's more important is, one, the options, but two is this upcoming Friday, they have so many failure to delivers that they have to cover. There's no way impossible that they can't, and they're trying to roll them over. That is your reason for this oomph, is what I'm going to call it. I don't know how they're going to cover those failure to delivers on Friday. No idea. With everything else that's going on. There's no possible way. So now they have to go ahead and basically double or triple down on the position to try and basically on a put side to go ahead and make sure that Roaring Kitty's options don't get into the money? With what money? Matt, you were talking about with me earlier about that. What was it? Basically that they can go ahead and roll the failure to deliver or different equities into what was that term?
FDSs.
Yes. Please explain.
All right. So, all right. Did I CFD changing?
Yes.
Yeah, I had the acronym wrong.
That's okay.
I'm pulling up so I get it right. Yeah, CFDs. It's basically a change in value swap. So it basically can represent. All right, for an example, a CFD would be you could use it in an option. So you pick an option, you pick a strike price, you pick a contract, right? But instead of actually going to the lit market through the options clearing corporation, through SIBO or one of them exchanges for that, you have a direct swap transaction. So let's say, James, let's say you're the hedge fund.
Okay, thanks.
I knew you'd love that role.
Oh, perfect. It's exactly what I wanted.
So you're short 100 shares of AMC. Now you got to locate them because you don't want to go to the market and buy them. And
Hell no.
All right, so you call the prime broker and you say, "Hey, I need 100 shares." He says, "You have to go to market and get them. I don't have any." Or he issues you naked. Well, they're out of fucking naked. It's a CD. The DTCC basically is not gonna fucking issue any shares, any more synthetics for some hedge fund.
No.
Dick out in the middle of nowhere. Everything that he's issuing out of need for the market not to crash, which is going to be your central bank, your prime brokers, your market makers, Citadel. You're too big to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, well, fuck. I ain't going to get these fucking things. What the hell am I supposed to do? So you say, okay, well, I need to locate these. I'll locate them in the future. So what you do is you go to the option market and you buy a call that's in the money. So now you have an exercisable option that at any time you could exercise. Now the market makers, when you exercise, whoever sold it to you has got to give you 100 shares. Now you have your 100 locates, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have reason to believe that you can load. You technically have a contract that says you have 100 shares coming, as long as that stays in the money.
Correct.
Right? But now you don't want to be at risk to that option. And the market maker doesn't want to be at risk to that option. So the market maker is going to hedge himself against your 100 share call. And he's going to put a put against that call to hedge himself and then try to keep the price in the middle so that he can just collect the premium.
Of course.
Not lose any money on his, not lose any money on yours. You don't gain anything other than you now have a future cover locate for your naked shares that you gave that you promised the broker an IOU on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? IOU, what is it? It's a future delivery.
Of course.
So what a change in fund derivative or swap or whatever is now that you can go ahead and say, well, I don't want to lose to the market maker,
Mm-hmm.
but I still need the shares. So what if what if my call goes out of the money and I don't have the cover anymore? Or what if my call stays in the money, but my put position so much bigger and it's losing so much more value than I'll ever gain on that cover call. Well, how do I How do I hedge that?
Oh.
All right. Well, the funny thing about future these future value contracts is the fund value contracts, CFDs, is that if you have it on an option, it doesn't come with the locate obligation. There's no exercisability to them. So if I have a call that I want to hedge, I can hedge it with a CFD with no locate obligation by selling to a buyer who wants to go long at a distinguished price between me and James.
Mm-hmm.
So James sell. I want the benefit of option pricing at a little bit of a discount from what it's costing for the option, and I don't want to report it.
Of course, because if you report it, this is not a legal mechanism, or not supposed to
Not
be a
legal
legal.
in the U.S. It's legal.
Yeah, correct.
But they're traded in the U.S. because they're just not created here. Because if it's on somebody's books and they're globally institutionalized, and then it is usable on your book balancing as so. Basically, what James would do then is he would short, and I'd take the long side, so that if he loses, if the market make,
Yeah.
if the actual option loses value or whatever, and like the market maker has the put and it loses value and he's losing money, and now the put goes out of the money and the call against that put that James has goes into money, and now he wants to exercise that. The market maker is obligated to give him 100 shares, but he's got to go to the market to get it. Where the fuck's he getting the money to go get it? Well, through the CFD.
I'm rubbing my
No
magic
longer has
lamp.
monetary obligation risk that the option holds, because any losses on his option is hedged off to somebody else with no chance of being called for a delivery on. So now he's making the money to pay for the shares that he owes to James off of me because I bought a CFD. My
And
CFD is losing money to the market maker, and the money that they're making off of me on the hedge is paying the cost of the shares that he now has to get, because
my
the
bank is
call
full.
option that they sold got exercised, or didn't get exercised. Maybe it just got closed out, cashed out, then bought into a later date one to get rolled over. And now I got to go back to my guy and say, and if that expires in the middle, whatever, you got to roll that out and pay the balances and the premiums and all that stuff. Now, the crazy thing about these CFDs is that they could be for any block, whatever you want to write up. You can leverage it 1x, 2x, 1.5x, and you only need 10% premium. You can borrow against another 90% of the value. So if it's $100, you pay $10 for it, and it's worth $100. So now you can borrow margin of 90% or $90 against that contract. If it's $1,000, your premium payment is $100, and you can borrow $900 against it because it's worth $1,000.
It's just and the game goes round and round and round and round and round, because they're trying to be ahead.
So you can go buy an option that's going to cost you 20-30% premium, have the risk of having it exercised on you if you sell a call as a market maker, or you can, but you have to kind of sell the call because the hedge fund needs the call, because he don't have the locates for the short position. So the calls to hedge for the short position. The market maker puts a put in to hedge himself against the fucking call position that the hedge fund has, right? And now he himself with a CFD to sell off to somebody else. And in order for somebody to want that, you cut the premium in half and make it 10%, and then you allow them to use that full leverage value minus the premium. So now you can borrow 90% off of that. So yeah, okay. These funds are looking at that like, well, that sounds like a really good fucking deal, right? But then if the fucking thing goes runaway on the actual options chain,
oh man, am I holding the bag?
You're holding the market maker's bag.
Yeah, I'm royally just owned.
And not only are you holding their bag, but now you're paying for their losses to forward to the hedge fund against their call so that they can short it somewhere. It's one big circle jerk of it's no different than the bond market.
No, it's not. Well, we're going to get to that bond market here in a second.
I figured that was a good trailing, but I wasn't sure where you were.
Yeah, we're going to get into that in 2 seconds because this is the special report.
Shocking report. The controversy began in the small mountain town of South Park, where the local PTA is trying to ban the movie. With us tonight is the head of the PTA, Sheila Broflovsky.
Hello, Tom.
And the Canadian Minister of Movies.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Minister, parents are concerned about your country's entertainment. Your thoughts?
Well, the film is R-rated, and it's not intended for children.
But of course children are going to see it.
Can I finish? The fact is that we Canadians are quite surprised by your outrage.
You just don't care.
Can I finish? Hello, can I finish? The United States has graphic violence on television all the time. We can't believe that a movie with some foul language would piss you off so much.
Because it's evil.
Can I finish? Please, can I finish? Okay, I'm finished.
But, Mr. Minister, it isn't like this film is the first troublesome thing to come out of Canada. Let us not forget Bryan Adams.
No, the Canadian government has apologized for Bryan Adams on several occasions.
You Canadians are all the same, with your beady little eyes and flapping heads. You're trash.
I resent that. I find that racist.
Our children are now addicted to your
You are racist,
film.
ma'am. You are racist.
It is going to take us weeks to erase the damage this film has done to our children.
But there's more.
Damn it. You guys, this is all Kyle's mom's fault. Shut up, Cartman. Kyle's
No.
mom is the one that started that damn club, and all because she's a big, fat, stupid bitch. Don't say it, Cartman. Well, don't do it, Cartman. Well, I'm warning you. Okay. I'm getting pretty sick of him calling my mom. Well, Kyle's mom's a bitch. She's a big, fat bitch. She's the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. She's a stupid bitch, and everyone's a bitch. She's a bitch to all the boys and girls. Shut your fucking mouth, Cartman. On Monday she's a bitch, on Tuesday she's a bitch, and Wednesday to Saturday she's a bitch. Then on Sunday just to be different, she's a super king, Kamehameha, bitch. Come on, you all know the words. Have you ever met my friend Kyle's mom? She's the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. She's a mean old bitch, and she has stupid hair. She's a bitch. She's a stupid bitch. Kyle's mom's a bitch, and she's a dirty bitch. Talk to kids around the world, it might go a little bit something like this. What? Fuck.
I'm sorry. That gets me every single time. The other parts of this, okay, so we went over Roaring Kitty. You went over Berkshire Hathaway. We found the mechanism as to how they can go ahead and divert certain equities into basically a credit line and bet against them. And now, the repercussions of if it continues to go lower or if it continues to go upward. But let's not forget the other things that also were dropped today, just in the barrel as well. You had the Anthony Fauci, proceedings where he was getting blasted by every Republican congressman. You had Hunter Biden's gun charges that were also being divulged at the exact same time. You have a new problem every single second of the day to keep your eyes off what they're doing in front of you. And that's the whole purpose, is that it is designed to keep your eyes off of the prize. And that's why you have these little nuggets. That's why you have these little drops. As I end this portion of the information overload I'm going to drop, it's not just about the resilience in the face of the market turbulence. It's about the empowerment through knowledge. Understanding the intricacies of the financial system is akin to holding a royal flush in poker. It's a powerful advantage. The message is clear. Hold on to your convictions. Reach for your financial goals. And let knowledge be your guide in the vast cosmos of the stock market. For in this arena, the informed investor is the underrated one, navigating through storms with a compass of research, unwavering in their pursuit of financial aspirations. And now it's time for a cautionary tale of market manipulation. I'm going to explain to you how they can manipulate an equity, how it's done, what players are involved, so on and so forth. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it is very apparent that, one, the big stock that we're talking about here, we all know in snippet. So the evil culprit is Magnetar Capital, is the bad player. Are they a hedge fund? Are they a broker? They're actually a shadow bank. But they're the ones that are helping NVIDIA by design, being able to constantly gamma squeeze by repurchasing their shares at the tippy top. They gave them a perfect platform into how it's done, how they can't be caught.
Let me jump into that real quick because we talked.
Go ahead.
We talked about this before with the NVIDIA thing, and I said they're basically being a bank to their own customers for supply orders.
Correct.
And then, but it's not actually, they're not the bank. They have a shadow leg company that's playing the bank role, so it's not on their books.
Mm-hmm.
But the inventory, the future inventory order sales is what is the collateral for the company that he's bringing up now to be the bank.
Correct. Now, if you want to know Magnetar, I'll just give you a little brief history. 2008, they were one of the creators of your CDO in 2008. They were one of the main inventors of that credit debt obligation that so famously crippled the real estate market, the residential real estate market. I mean, what's going on in the commercial sector? Holy Jesus. I'm telling you right now, get ready for that shitstorm, because it's coming into June, early July. Ooh-wee! Get your marshmallows, get your chocolate, get a place right by the fire. It's going to burn. But this intricate world of finance, a story that is as ancient as history itself, reoccurs with new actors and current risks. It's a narrative of desperation, a saga of manipulation where hedge funds and prime brokers become alchemists attempting to transmute laden assets into golden profits. This is not a guide to emulate, but a mirror to the mechanizations that threaten the very fabric of market integrity. Step 1. The inventory illusion. Imagine a company, let's call it Company A, sitting on a mountain of inventory that the market no longer desires. The end market is saturated, and the semiconductors, once cutting edge, now face the threat of absolvance. The first act in the financial play is to craft a compelling narrative, a story to reignite demand for these waning wares. Step 2, the narrative nexus. The plot thickens as Company A selects a small, ambitious entity, Startup B, striving to develop a product that the market hasn't even realized it needs. The narrative is spun is one of revolution, the world-altering innovation, promising billions in revenue. These are buzzwords, just buzzwords that ensnare attention and investment.
I'd like to withdraw my life savings, please, and hurry.
Sir, this is a joint account. You'll need your wife's signature, too.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, she's behind that plan. Hello, Marge. Hi, homie. Sign this, please. You're the boss.
Daddy, ask the man for some candy.
No candy for you.
Then at least get some candy for yourself.
Kids.
Here's your candy.
So long, sucker!
Sir, your life savings?
Yes, I see that it's in bill form. Excellent. I'd like to buy 500 shares of Animotion Incorporated.
Okay. Now, before I execute this order, are you sure you understand the risks of stock ownership?
Absolutely.
We're in the money. We're in the money.
You heard the monkey. Make the trade.
For automated stock prices, please state the company name.
Animotion.
Animotion, up 1 1/2.
Yoo-hoo!
Yahoo, up 6 1/4.
What is this crap?
Fox Broadcasting, down 8.
Sleep tight, my beloved. You're my ticket out of this hellhole.
Homer.
Sorry. Our ticket out of this hellhole.
Turning to the stock market, Animotion is up an 1/8.
Yes!
After plunging 75 points this morning.
Oh, I hope plunging means up and 75 means 200.
The firm declared super-duper bankruptcy, which is terrible news for the company's only stockholder, Homer Simpson.
Oh!
Step 3, the legitimacy lure. Enter Company C, a well-established client of Company A, also burdened with a surplus of inventory. Company C lends its credibility to Startup B, creating a veneer of legitimacy. On paper, it invests billions into a startup vision, but in reality, it's a mix of minimal cash and generous credits for future use, a masterstroke in narrative engineering. Step 4, the deceptive demand. As the narrative gains traction, Company A faces a conundrum. its inventory continues to depreciate. To counter this, Company A invests in Company B or Company D. An empty shell, which then places a large order for semiconductors at an inflated price. The catch? Company D doesn't have the funds to cover the order and must seek a loan. Step 5. The collateral conundrum. Private investor E enters the stage, willing to lend under 2 conditions. Company D must show potential revenues, and it must pledge future assets as collateral. Company C signs a contract for future services with Company D, intending to make them available to startup B. Step 6. The appraisal charade. Company A receives a call from private investor E for an appraisal of the semiconductors destined for Company D. Company A confirms the anticipated huge demand thanks to startup B, revolutionary product, thus securing a loan for Company D.
I don't want to go home. I'm not done talking to me.
Just get out this door, Rummy, and you're the city's problem. If you make it through the night, welcome back.
Oh, home sweet home. Now to watch some TV.
Oh, you poor soul. You think that rat is a remote. Yeah.
What? $5? I don't need your charity. I'll dance for my money. Da 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 da.
Oh, you poor man. You think you can dance? I didn't say stop.
Oh, you poor man. You smell worse than you did last time.
Hey, buddy, that's nice sign work. Your penmanship is clear yet sad.
Hey, I know you. We met in a police lineup.
Oh, yeah. You know, number 2 and number 4 are an item now.
You don't have to tell me. I was number 3. Listen, do you have any pointers for a newbie?
Well, there are 6 schools of begging. Bad musician, messed up vet, cripple, fake cripple, religious zealot, and crazy guy. I think you would do well with crazy guy.
Coke and Pepsi are the same thing! Wake up, people!
Wow, now that is good crazy.
So, step 7, the profit mirage. The grand illusion culminates as Company A agrees to purchase future services from Company C, which in turn buys more semiconductors from Company A. This circular flow of funds allows both companies to reevaluate their inventory at higher levels, booking fictitious profits. The Enron Echo. This scheme, reminiscent of the Enron scandal, raises the curtain on the fragility of financial ethics. It is a precarious house of cards where the illusion of profitability is sustained only as long as new money enters the fray. But when the cash dries up, the scheme collapses, revealing the naked truth behind the facade. The NVIDIA notion, while NVIDIA itself is not implicated in such schemes, the hypothetical scenario draws parallels to the creative accounting practices or creative writing department that have historically led to market turmoil. It begs the question, how many more companies might be employing similar tactics to inflate their revenues and meet the lofty expectations of Wall Street banks. The narrative is not a blueprint for action, but a stark warning. It's a reminder that alchemy of finance, turning lead into gold or polishing a turd into gold, is a myth that, when believed, can lead to ruinous consequences. Let this be a lesson in vigilance for the integrity of the market and the protection of the honest investor, which is really, really hard.
I'm going to throw a quick example out there too, because I'm pretty sure everybody here is already familiar with the company that got the 87 billion whatever fucking grant from the Fed for purpose of making hydrogen bullets and projectiles for the military instead of using gunpowder. Well, interestingly enough, Sequoia and another fund had VC'd a bunch of money into this before the Fed ever gave them the Fed contract. Now, the way I see it, it's exactly what you're talking about, but the shell company bank is actually the Fed itself, whereas Sequoia probably lost a shit ton of money, owes the bank a shit ton of money, and they needed money. Can't have them not pay the bank. The bank don't want this shit fucking 20-year-old one semester dropout company for on as on their portfolio. So the bankers and the Fed say, well, we can give them a defense contract, and then they'll get all that money, and then through that company they can launder that money and refund Sequoia with liquidity so that they don't get margin called by the bank, which they can't afford, and then the bank don't have to take over that portfolio position against their books. And we can do it through the Department of Defense instead of through the Federal Reserve, so it doesn't look like we're pumping more inflationary liquidity into the economy.
Correct. But here, I have the perfect answer. And I want you to watch this chart. This is NVIDIA versus Bitcoin and gold.
There was a lot in this town. It had a really nice sparkle. I was about to forget, but you were on your way to remember, like a flash in the sky. It was a day in December. Oh yeah. And we're moving on to the void is gone. You don't know until you lost somebody, truly lost someone. Oh yeah. You don't know until you're part of something you believe is true. Oh yeah. Caught in the rush of this.
I want you to take a good look at that right there. You want to take a screenshot of it? Please be my guest. But how is that possible? How is that possible? If you invested $10,000 in NVIDIA in 1999, right now, what was the ending stock price in NVIDIA? Hold on a second. So you would have right now 11,500,000 if you didn't sell anything. Off of nothing. No money. They haven't made shit. There's nothing on their books. It's all a facade. They don't have any money coming in until future years. And I don't think it kicks off until like August of 25. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts.
Quick question. I forget. Is it Taiwan or Japan where Nvidia makes their chips?
Taiwan.
It is Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of interesting too that they still have this whole bull thing on them. And the biggest manufacturers for computer components that use that chip are in Japan and China.
Of course.
Well, and China announced that they don't want their companies buying products and inventory from countries outside of China, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work with chip orders to Nvidia when you take out China as probably the second largest buyer of component supplies in the world?
Explain to me why China for military drill goes ahead and puts carriers all over with 40 fighter jets all over Taiwan for no reason. Explain to me that one. And why do we have carriers moving in? We're trying to protect the asset. This is the only thing that's propping up the market. Man, have you ever seen the movie Airplane?
They need words in order to have the public backing of government spending, because government spending on wars is a lot, and it ends up directly in the banks, whether it's through defense contracts, through defense supplies, through bullets, through everything that's bought ends up in whatever company who puts it in the bank.
Correct.
So even if it goes to the employees or the CEOs or whatever they do it, it ends up in the bank. It's bank liquidity without the public outcry of government spending, because hey, you're in war. I mean, what do you want to do? Not spend?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's what is the right lie or what is the correct lie, because they need something for them to pass blame onto. And they're hoping it's a war. They're picking fights everywhere, trying to pass blame. That's what they're trying to do. They have to. There's no other way around it. Have you ever seen the movie Plane with Gerard Butler, Matt?
The movie what? A
Plane?
glitch? Nah.
Okay. It's this plane that basically goes through a huge electric thunderstorm and crash lands in an island in the Philippines. And Gerard Butler's the pilot, and there's a supposed militia that's on this island that captures all the people that were on the plane. And the chief of the town goes, "The people are mine. There's no reason why. They're just mine." That's China with Taiwan. And there's no reason. It's just mine. That's it. I have a real bad feeling, and with all the government spending that's going around, with the problems that you're about to see, and this is one of the reasons that Matt pointed out to me today, especially with some of the inflows into the SPY, and it has to do with the ECB's rate cut rodeo. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step right up to the greatest show on earth, the European Central Bank's very own rate cut rodeo. It's a wild ride where the ECB, in a heroic display of economic acrobats, attempts to lasso inflation down to a cozy 2% by 2025. Hold on to your hats, because this performance is one for the history books. The ECB's crystal ball, a foggy forecast. Let's take a gander at the ECB's crystal ball, shall we? The research staff, bless their hearts, have been working overtime to churn out projections that seem to be more fiction than finance. According to their latest blockbuster report, what explains recent errors in inflation projections of Eurosystems and ECB staff? It appears their forecasting track record is about as reliable as a chocolate teapot. The inflation illusion, now you see it, now you don't. But wait, there's more. The ECB's magicians have pulled a rabbit out of their hat, predicting a steady decline in inflation while simultaneously expecting wage growth to double dip into the inflation pool. It's a miraculous feat, akin to juggling flaming swords while riding a unicycle. The audience is left to wonder, are European employers the new Mother Teresa? Or is this just another act in the ECB's grand illusion?
What? Hey, that's my boss. All right, this is my career you're talking about. I spent a whole day working on this. You want me to just throw away in one day what I've spent a whole day trying to build? A whole day's worth of work. Poof, gone in a day.
Meg, you expect us to believe that the President of the United States would grab a woman by her... That's ridiculous.
How could you not believe me?
Oh, hang on, CNN's on, where I'm the loudest guy on an overcrowded panel.
This country needs stronger border security. Our border security is the strongest in the world.
What we need is to take care of our children.
I can't get an erection.
You think giving them amnesty is fair to the people who are already here? They're contributing to the economy.
I've tried all the herbs.
Amnesty is never the answer. It's not amnesty. It's recognizing their contributions to our country.
They said to meditate, but I keep falling asleep.
We need stronger vetting.
And to enforce the laws already on the books.
I'm terrified of being alone with my wife. It's too much pressure.
Well, nothing's ever going to change if Congress isn't willing to compromise. Exactly my point.
A wall would solve this.
I wake up with an erection, but never when she's in the bed with me.
A wall would solve nothing.
These children have rights.
I spent $3 grand on a sandals vacation thinking that might do it. Know what it was? Me being limp on a lazy river.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you to Peter Griffin.
No, don't send me home to my wife. Democrats.
You should send that in for Jerome Powell's next speech.
I think so. Do you know what? I really am. I think I am. But oh, the Bank of England's backpedal, a comedy of errors across the pond. The Bank of England has been trying to sell the same snake oil, but at last, the UK's inflation is so sky high that it's giving the Bank of England a nosebleed. In a twist that no one saw coming, the Prime Minister called for anticipated elections leaving the Bank of England's rate cut narrative in tatters. The ECB's desperate dance, a juggling act of justification, and now for the grand finale. The ECB's desperate dance to keep the stock market bubble afloat until the U.S. elections. It's a juggling act of justifications where the ECB throws rate cuts into the air, hoping they'll land in a pattern that spells economic stability. Don't think I wouldn't add the Bank of Japan into this mess, but I'm going to. The Bank of Japan's betrayal, a tragic tale of monetary misadventure. Not to be outdone, the Bank of Japan has been performing its own tragic tale of monetary misadventure in a shocking plot twist. The Bank of Japan chose to print money like there's no tomorrow, sending it off to foreign lands to inflate asset prices. The Nikkei hit new highs, but the applause was as sparse as a ghost town. The ECB's mission impossible, preserving the value of the euro as the curtain falls, we're left with the cliffhanger. Will the ECB's mission to preserve the value of the euro succeed? Or will it join the Japanese yen in a race to the bottom? Only time will tell if the euro will stand tall or if it will crumble under the weight of zombie companies and unsustainable debt.
In that case, I leave control of my company, Pewterschmidt Industries, to my daughter, Lois.
What? I don't know the first thing about running a billion-dollar company.
The board of directors is fully prepared to run the company in Carter's absence, if that's what you'd prefer, Mrs. Griffin.
Well, yes, I think that'd be best.
Well, now, wait a second, Lois. I could run the company.
You? You can't run a business that size. You have no experience.
You know what that is, Lois? That's you playing by the rule book. And I don't play by the rule book. Right, Dr. House?
Well, don't ask me. My superiors think I'm crazy. Scared you, didn't they? House.
House. And I'm going to run the company. Well, Lois, I'm off to my first day as a corporate bigwig.
I'm not so sure about this, Peter. I mean, that's Daddy's company. He spent his whole life building it from the ground up. And you don't know anything about running a big business.
Whoa, thanks for the vote of confidence. Geez, you're a bigger downer than a German bedtime story.
There once was a boy who liked to suck his thumbs. His mother asked him to stop, but he wouldn't. So she cut off his thumbs. Now he has no thumbs. Good night.
And in addition, Pewterschmidt Industries' pharmaceutical division is up over 30%. Profits in new media have doubled each quarter over the past year, and our stock is at an all-time high.
All right, stand aside. I'll take it from here. Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Peter Griffin. I will be running the company from hence hereforth. Now, I want you all to lay some business talk on me. I need ideas. What can we do to make this quarter more quarterly? Well, come on. Okay, I can see I'm going to have to get things rolling. All right, we're going to do an exercise called the idea ball. Now, I'm going to toss a ball to one of you, and whoever catches it, throw out the first idea you got, and then pass the ball to the next guy, and he throws out an idea, and so on. Everybody clear?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, Abrams, what do you got?
My lung's collapsing!
You know what I'm hearing, gentlemen? What's the best way to put this? What I'm hearing... What I'm hearing is a lot of yesterday talk. This isn't the way we're going to do things under my leadership. We are going to turn this company around.
But, sir, the company's doing fine. Better than ever, in fact. Mr. Pewterschmidt would...
I don't care what Mr. Pewterschmidt would have done. We need to take risks. We need a complete overhaul. Gentlemen, you're all fired.
What?
There, now that I've got your attention, you're all fired.
Peter, what the hell is going on? You fired everybody at Daddy's company?
You bet.
Are you out of your mind?
Keep it up, Lois. I might fire you.
You wouldn't.
Does the name Lacey Chabert mean anything to you?
Okay, I'll behave.
Yes, you will.
Look, Peter, all I'm saying is those guys have been with Daddy for years. How are you supposed to run that company without them?
That's it, Lois. You're fired. Chris, you are now Meg's mother.
Ooh, Peter, your muscles are so muscly.
I am gonna plow you so gross later. You are a team of executives I can trust. Brian, Quagmire, Mort, you are gonna be my creative team. You are gonna help me lead this company into the future.
Peter, we don't know anything more than you do about running a company.
Hey, where's Joe?
Yeah, I think he's still outside.
Hey, Joe, what are you doing down there?
There's no ramp. I can't get inside.
Now, we don't need him anyway. This company's gonna make it on my ideas. Here are the products we'll be unveiling in the new fiscal year. The African American Heart Monitor.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, he did.
Jeremy Irons cereal.
If you're looking for marshmallows, there are none. It's quite bland, I assure you.
And Scream in a Box.
Ah! I needed that today.
And now, new Lady Scream in a Box.
Finally, a scream that's right for me.
A payback, a twist of fate for the euro is a dramatic turn of events. The euro is now poised to take a nosedive, ensuring the U.S. bubble doesn't burst before elections. It's a tale of political intrigue, where the fate of currencies hangs in the balance, and the taxpayers are left holding the bill. So, my fellow apes, as we close the book on this satirical saga, remember, in the ECB's rate cut rodeo, the only thing certain is uncertainty. Will the ECB's rate cut be the hero we need or the villain we deserve? Stay tuned for the next thrilling installment of that monetary mayhem. You have the Japanese yen that is tied to your hold to maturity loans. You also have them tied to your mortgage-backed security bonds. Now, the interesting thing about the ECB and how they're joining this battle, especially with the Fed, is that the euro doesn't transfer. It's the same thing with USD. So, like when Japan goes ahead and buys this unlimited amount of USD, that money doesn't go from the United States ledger to the Japanese ledger. What happens is that that money has to go somewhere because it's a currency. So when it goes somewhere, where do you think it goes? It goes into equities, meaning your stock market. And the inflated values you're seeing on certain stocks is where this money is going to. This is the same thing that, quite frankly, happened today. Matt's going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about this because there was an inflow in the SPY that was kind of unreal.
All right. I think I went over a little bit earlier, but let me pull it up. So when I was looking at the SPY and the volumes today, and I was talking about the inflow outflow, but that really, as a matter of like, doesn't even explain to the magnitude of today's opening volume that basically gapped it up almost equally to AMC and like GameStop type gap up after a huge pre-market run. So like, and GameStop, AMC gapped up off the German market run, right? And then we kind of went up a little bit more, and then we came back down half candle, right, going into opening, and then we kind of flatlined, and then we dropped and then gained some back in, but we pretty much volatile flat from there. Whereas the SPY, right before closing yesterday, had a
You mean
candle.
Friday?
Yeah, sorry. Right before closing, up to closing Friday, had a candle that was about 5 times the average closing and opening candles. Now, 2 days ago was the first time I seen we had a 3/4 to what the average is candle, but where it's never been before. At approximately between 11:50 and 11:55 in the afternoon, we had a candle that was 3/4. That would have been Tuesday's close candle. I've never seen a candle anywhere near that size mid-trading day. And now here we are Friday with that candle that's 5 times any other candle in any of the recent chart history. And you can go to
how much was
that volume was 1.67 billion in 5 minutes.
Ooh-wee.
To put it in perspective, the recent average is about half a billion and under. That midday candle, no average midday, 2 to 4 million. That 11:30 candle, 284 million at 11:50 to 11:55. So yeah, it don't make no sense because it doesn't match the inflow outflows, and then I'm like been racking my head trying to make sense of it. Like that money just ain't coming from out of fucking nowhere. And if like AMC GameStop's going up, they need and you know the mag sevens have been somewhat up and down, a lot down, but even it hasn't been near enough. Like these 0.51% moves that they're doing now, as opposed to them, long term ramp ups, add up, but not enough to make that kind of difference, in just a week and a half. So when he brought up the euro, it kind of reminiscent to, and we've seen this before because we've seen it when Japan dropped theirs, when they upped their rates. It created a bond arbitrage liquidity that allowed for inflow into the markets. I saw there's still negative beta on the Chinese indexes to the spine yen and all that. I mean, the Bitcoin did have a pretty good pull down from that high, but I mean, and they've been saying there's money on the sidelines, but it can't be on the sidelines, or it would have showed up on the net inflow. But if it
this
was
is fresh
offshore,
money?
yeah, but it's not being reflected as fresh money, which
Correct.
it wouldn't be, because if it's offshore
Mm-mm.
but in and it's collateralized, and now they're looking to unwind the bond market there and loosen, then it's probably onshoring the European money supply that's in the markets there. No different
Correct.
than the Japan arbitrage play with the bond market, which created buy supply at the auction for U.S. bonds in order to convert or swap for the Japanese bonds in order for Japan to unwind, sell its U.S. bonds in order to prop up their markets there, which then got deleveraged back on shore soon after when their
It got
currency.
deleveraged real quick.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Another example was no different because this ain't the first time they did this. Europe didn't do it, but because of the Tether Luna collateral crypto Tether swap crashed the Saudi bonds, creating not so much a liquidity grab as much as a liquidity save.
Correct.
Because the money was there, it just Saudis didn't own it anymore. Citadel did.
Yep.
Or Citadel's partners, whoever crashed the Tether Luna, which
you're giving them too much credit with partners. Let's just say Citadel because it's Citadel.
Well, I think there it's all honestly. I picture Jerome Powell. I picture Gary Gensler.
Mm-hmm.
I picture Hester Pierce, Ken Griffin, Dick Valsack from J.P. Morgan.
Jamie Dimon.
Yeah, Jamie Dimon. I couldn't think of it any. All I could think was Dick Sack.
Yeah.
Diamond Dick.
Yeah, Diamond Dick.
Anyhow, I picture like all these guys with all the leaders of like FINRA and the DTCC all sitting in one giant boardroom in Washington saying, okay, we all know the banks are fucked. Great idea last week, Jackie D. But we need a new one. That one's used, it's done, it's over. Congrats, I got one. We could do this. Well,
You got Jamie Ballsack going to.
No. Let them pump that shit up.
You got Jamie Ballsack that's sitting there going ahead and don't worry, I got my creative writing department on it.
And then the next week you're like, that was a great idea. We got him on that one. You know?
Oh yeah.
Who else? And they got like the president of Japan and key people from Europe. All sitting in this boardroom.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's really gonna fuck us. Well, you're really gonna be fucked if we go down. Jackie D says so. What you got? Well, we could do this, even though we hate to do it. Great, love it. We'll get you on the other side.
Don't worry, we'll get you on the backdoor deal.
Yeah, we'll make it up to you later. We just need to get through this. Right. So then after this, maybe it'll be back. But why does it seem like all these other countries are doing all this shit, knowing, what it's going to do to their currency? And I understand a lower currency makes it for cheaper employment, which is better for their trade, and then their trade gets U.S. dollars, which they convert into bonds. So the Fed makes out because now they're handing people currency to buy the bonds. And the old bonds that they need to sell to roll over into the new, bigger bond, they have to buy back.
Mm-hmm.
So between
I think it's
just one big fucking Ponzi snowball. And I honestly picture all these people sitting in a room like a United Nations type scene. Like it's your turn. The only people that never do anything fiscally responsible is because every other currency is measured off the dollar.
Yep.
And if they're already, crashing spreads between their currency and the dollar, how far will they go if the dollar is actually recognized as losing value instead of acting like the dollar is strong just because it's not dropping as fast as the rest of them? If we fucking drop, the rest of them are going to fucking drop off a cliff.
Correct.
So the only country in this fucking mess that ain't gonna lower rates or cause any more strife, like visible strife to the confidence of our people, is the U.S. Everybody else is taking a hit because, God forbid, the fucking dollar fell. Now we all know that all of this is all this spending, all this liquidity, all these swap plays are just ways to move more money into the system for liquidity.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Whoa.
yeah, he's a Parker.
No, that's okay.
But at the same time, they can't do anything about it.
Nope.
Except let the banks fail. So the rest of the world pretty much put themselves in a situation where U.S. Fed has them by the ball. Because it's like, you want us to crash? No, 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 we don't want that. Well, then, what are you going to do? That's
Well,
just how I see it.
what I see is basically something that is completely and utterly planned out. And we're talking about bonds here. Now, when it comes to the bonds, and with all of this offshore money coming in to go ahead and try and balance basically the currencies and balance all this debt, it's too much. There's no way that the Fed can handle it. They can't go ahead and right now what they normally do is they take whatever the bank's debts are, put them on their books so that this way they can pass their inspections to make sure that the banks are, looking like they have money, but they don't. So the problem that you're running into is the bond market. And I believe that they have to crash. They have to crash this thing. Everything that you see, that you know now, is going to be on absolute fucking fire. There is no way that they are going to be able to handle all this. They're not going to be able to handle the hold to maturity loans with the commercial real estate sector. They're not. And those can't be pushed back.
You know what they're going to do, though, if the bond market crashes?
They're
going to have to lower rates.
Mm-hmm.
And if they
But
lower
that's the
rates,
only thing that they're going to. That's the only way that they're going to be able to actually state that they can lower rates.
That's not going to take any money out of the economy. And
No,
with
it's not.
With the fucking rates lowered, any value they gained on the inflation against the debt value of the payoff is lost.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't fix the debt service problem. I mean, when you're paying $1 trillion, in every 3 years in fucking debt servicing, 2% is not going to fucking save you. 4% is not going to save you.
No, but if they crash the bond market, they still have an ability to basically burn a fire everywhere. Just literally light everything on fire, let it all burn to a cinder, and then grow it back from underneath. Because this system is absolutely toast. Period. They can't save this.
I think they should not sell bonds to buy back bonds.
Mm-hmm.
They should fucking print whatever the fuck they need to print. Buy all the bonds back. That
the amount
puts
of money
money
they would
into
have
the
to
fucking
print.
system too. They can't do that.
No, because all the money, and now that you're printing more money, now you're devaluating the value.
Well, no, if they bought the offshore bonds back, if they bought all the IOUs for fucking China and Japan and Europe.
Okay.
If they bought all them back, and then the only issue would be, do we have enough gold to convert the dollar, basically buy them bonds back with gold?
Bingo.
So you're not adding fiat, you're actually, and you're erasing the interest obligation on the bond debt and actually winding it backwards. And then get
Yeah.
fiscally fucking responsible and quit fucking around with all this spending to pad you and your buddy's pockets unnecessarily
No,
at
I
the
agree
expense
with that.
of
The other
taxpayer.
thing, the other thing that I
If they
also
have enough
see
gold,
that
I don't think they do.
no, they don't. But the other thing I see as a possibility is that this is where Bitcoin, that ETF, comes into play. Where if they go ahead, yeah, if they go ahead and, for example, you've changed the rules on capital gains tax. It's now, let's just say 50%. So they actually let us mow ass. Okay? They're going to get 50% of everything back. That's one. So now you have all that money in capital gains tax that they're going to get. Now, on the opposite end, you have Bitcoin and this ETF. They go ahead and they lower the value of it, basically pushing out any other country out of Bitcoin to where the United States is the main controlling party of Bitcoin, and then watch that thing run up. So now you're getting money from the capital gains tax, plus you're also getting money from Bitcoin, being able to pay off your debt obligations and still keep USD in their number one position trade. That's the only way I possibly see this actually, them being able to do it. I don't see another way. Besides that, it's basically you're looking at 20 years of, I mean, just shit. This would make the Great Depression look like you walked into Candyland in comparison. I don't think there's any way that the people that would actually survive this, because here, just to give you guys some other things that are coming home with this. You have Buffalo Wild Wings to close 60 U.S. stores, and all Buffalo Wild Wings stores in Canada closed. All Old Country buffets gone. Dude Ruckers and IHOPs to close in 2024 at the end of the year. You have Denny's, 20 locations. Marie's Calendars, all stores. Pizza Hut, 500 stores. Outback, 40 stores. Joe's Crab Shack, 40 stores. Quiznos, all stores. Macaroni Grill, 31 stores. Corner Bakery, 100 stores. Gone. But let's just not think about the individual stores and the numbers. Think of the employment that's lost. Just gone. Vanished like a fart in the wind. There is no recovery from this. This is your Biden economics in full force, ladies and gentlemen. And the time of spend. Let's spend some more. Spend. That's what he's going to promote. That's what he's going to debate about when the debate season comes around. Is how he wants to spend. And spend some more. My final words, and then I'm going to get to some questions. Today I reviewed with you all the blame game indeed returns with a vengeance. As the intricate ballet between market makers, prime brokers, hedge funds, and government entities often leave the audience of retail investors in a state of bewilderment. It's a narrative steeped in caution, a tale of market manipulation, reminiscent of alchemy, where the pursuit of transforming modest assets into vast fortunes is relentless. Amidst this, the ECB's rate cut rodeo emerges as a daring feat, an attempt to corral the bull of inflation back into its pen, aiming for a stable 2% by 2025. Yet, beneath the surface of these economic endeavors lies a more profound question. Why do people often fail to act with kindness and humanity towards one another? The root, it seems, is often greed, a force that can drive individuals to prioritize personal gain over communal well-being. But history has shown that when people stand united, even the most formidable challenges can be overcome. It is in this unity that the apes, you, a metaphor for the collective strength of ordinary individuals, find their power standing tall and victorious against the tides of adversity. To encapsulate this segment, let's draw inspiration from a quote that echoes through the ages. The greatest glory in living lies not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. From Nelson Mandela. It's a reminder that our triumphs are not defined by the absence of challenges, but by our resilience in the face of them. So as we navigate through complexities of our times, let us hold fast to the belief that together we can emerge stronger, wiser, and more united than ever before. And that's the truth. That's the truth in all of this, is that we need to become more united. We need to become one. We all have to be there together in unity. And this is for all the tickers. Every single one of us. We have to come together. Because if we come together as one, there is not one force in this market, in any economy, that can stop us. There isn't. There's too many things that we all see, that you hear about every single day, that you may question. You may wonder what's this, or you may hear from one of the speakers about a certain thing that caught your attention.
Speaking of that, right when I got dropped, I was like, fuck. It was interesting because I was thinking we don't probably have enough gold, but why the fuck don't the Fed go to the central banks and say, we'll give you liquidity, but here's what you're going to do. You're going to buy all our European fucking debt bonds. with your Bitcoin, then we're going to buy your bonds back.
I mean,
and I know that's inflationary.
Yeah.
And I know that that's going to suck for a little while on our
But it won't
economy.
suck as long.
No. And at some point, the banks will be able to unwind this shit with the liquidity transfer. And they'll be able to go back to buying the government debt as they try to become more fiscally responsible overseers of our currency, and maybe even get it to a point where we can accumulate some gold, and gold could maybe get gold back.
I hope.
But that would be my thing. You know what? Bitcoin could be a tool for liquidity to get out of the interest bond debt bubble.
I don't see there being any other way. But they still have to have the controlling interest of it. That's the only problem. They have to have the controlling interest.
Why? They don't
Because-
have the fucking controlling interest of the fucking stocks that we pumped into the fucking market.
Still a difference.
Write contracts. I don't give a fuck. Turn the fucking Bitcoin into fucking futures contracts and make them the fucking bond collateral to bring the debt back to the Fed, and then they can hold the fucking debt box that they created.
I totally agree with that statement, but at the same time, what's stopping them from doing the exact same thing with our tickers and saying, fuck you, you get dick?
Well, I would say that would be the condition, is that they have to unwind all that assets sold yet to be purchased. They have to get rid of all their debt assets.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
And
100%.
I don't know if that includes GameStop and AMC. I'm sure it does, but there's a lot more shit that's included in that. But it'll get them back to fiscally responsible, which means that the government can get fiscally responsible, concentrate on GDP to spending without having to fucking keep pumping interest debt to these fucking banker assholes globally. And the other countries would probably be glad to get off the bond bubble.
Oh, yeah.
And be paid in crypto until we can get to a gold situation that we can go back to being a gold tethered currency instead of just a fiat.
You know, it's you move the real fake money, with the more real fake money, and then you take the more real fake money, and then you just go like this in a circle.
Right.
But
the delivery obligation of the other fake money is on the banks now and not on the taxpayer.
I agree. That I'm 100% agreeing on. So, Matt, is there any questions on Twitter?
I'll look again. I've been looking off and on.
Okay.
And I haven't seen any. Some likes, retweets, stuff like that.
Okay.
It
just won't let me go on. That's the only problem while I'm recording this. So that's the only issue that I have.
There's no comments at all.
Okay. Well, I really do hope that we all need to understand that this play is not just an individual play. This play is the everything bubble. It is the everything crash. It is the everything around your individual ticker that is going to make this explode. Period. There is nothing that's ticker specific about what is about to happen. Your hold to maturity bonds that are coming due end of June, early July, that's just step one. That step one is going to bleed into your mortgage-backed security bonds. You already have defaults at an all-time high. You already have basically you're over-leveraged on what's out there for sale to what's actually being bought. And out of 100 people that are trying to find a home right now, 70% of them are paying cash because they can't afford the loan. So the banks aren't making money. And this debt circle is just, it keeps on spinning and spinning and spinning.
And the whole reason it does, and that's another regulation they need to put in. They need to get rid of equity as a collateral.
Correct. They have to.
If it's in the market, if it's not a physical equity that you can tangibly hold in your hand, walk around in like a house, or something on them lines, it's not fucking collateral.
No.
If you sell it and turn it into hard cash, that's fucking liquidity. You can lend that to somebody that can use that. But you can't fucking borrow margin against cash. You can't borrow margin against equity, which you can only fucking cash out for cash. If you can cash it out for cash, why do you need to borrow cash?
Correct. There's no reason for it.
Fucking 9 times the value.
There's no reason for it. And so you're basically, equity is only good unless you use it. But I'm telling you, the people that are trying, you can't get a refinance, you can't pull out cash, you can't do anything. You can't afford what is being brought to the table, especially in the form of interest.
I was going to say because of the interest.
Correct. You are, this fight that we are having, I promise right now that there's no way I see this getting 2 elections. I don't see them being able to pass blame to whoever is in office next. There's no way possible.
If they unleash oil, you might start to see a turnaround 9 years from now.
Yeah, 9 years from now. But all this is doing is literally you are borrowing against future generations to pay for now. So your kids, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, the minute they graduate, they have an $82,000 price tag on their forehead.
And that's the reason why I say, because people will argue, if they unleash oil, it won't take. Yes, it will take 9 years. You know why? Because whatever they manage to release in funds by empowering the value of our oil, they will burn up in the current interest and the bonds that they're paying and the bills that they're writing and the money that they're spending. So until they get actually fiscally responsible, stop adding more debt, and get the interest under control on the inflation, to get the inflation rate down on the debt, any value that they currently gain on oil is going to be ate up faster than they can generate it until they can get it flowing.
Hey, but first
under control.
But first, you got to fill back your strategic oil reserve there. If that's already been just blatantly gone,
there you go. Fill them up with Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean,
Saudis will take it.
It's the real fake money, the more real fake money, and you just take it and you go in a circle.
But the thing is, it's fake and it's not fake.
Yeah, I know.
It's got such a freaking backing that it's not hard for the bank to take that as payment or the oil companies to take that as payment, put it to their bank, and let their bank fucking sell it to the fucking market. Because the market's got the demand.
Yeah. Sure does. But
so I can honestly say you crypto enthusiasts could save the world. All we need is a government that's willing to put all the debt on the back of it.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, all I can say honestly is, are we heading into rough times? Absolutely. Are we going ahead and are you going to see something greater than the great financial crisis? Fuck yes, you are. This is something that you are, I mean, they're going to write about. It is going to be historic. But because of your fight, because of your guys' conviction, and everything that you have done to understand the market, to understand the mechanisms, to understand every little piece of your individual play, it's time to spread that around. It's trying to spread that around to other communities so they can understand some of the complexities that we've had in our individual play into a broader standpoint, because we may have something that BBYG didn't have, or there may be something that's going on in MMTLP, which I'm sorry, you guys get the because your ticker isn't even traded, but you are fighting because your belief and your conviction, and you know what will happen when that day does come, and you guys are going to be well rewarded for it. And I applaud you. I really do. But hold on to your conviction. Hold on to your dreams. And hold on to that number that you have. Because that number that you have, you will be able to obtain it. Because not only do you want it, but your government is going to want you to have it, because you're going to have to pay half. And that's what's probably going to save their ass. Matt, I have to say thank you for joining me on this.
Anytime.
Yeah, I really do love our conversations, and at the same time, I hope you all learned. I hope you all grow. If you guys have any questions of me, like I said, you're more than willing to DM me, shoot me an email, whatever you guys need. I'm always here for you, no matter what, and I'll make sure.
I'll tell you what, I hope the listeners were left after listening to this and after us talking back and forth to each other with as many or more questions than I already have in my head going on of stuff that I can look up and learn as a result of these conversations. So it's not as much about what you learned as much as it's about what you learned that you didn't know, or to ask yourself, wait a minute, what? And go learn, so that you can have conversations that you can pick apart the information that you have, or what you think you know, or what you realize you don't know, so that you can learn. Because that's the most powerful thing in anybody's life, is knowledge. The
Knowledge
best
is
knowledge
power,
is
baby.
God-given, and financial knowledge is as probably the most important knowledge you can have in this modern world life for your well-being. Like I said, there nothing trumps God knowledge.
Nope. It's as good as gold.
Yep. And when you reach that point of, oh shit, and that enlightenment hits you, and you understand something, and you know it come from that place, that's there's no way to explain when you come to that.
There isn't. I totally agree with you. To all of you, I bid you adieu. I will be here later on this week with another episode of something I find interesting that I want to teach y'all. But I leave you with, did you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
It can be truly said that I have a bat in my belfry. Shall we dance? Without you, I just wouldn't want to go on. It's as though we were made for each other. Beauty and the Beast. Of course, if anyone else calls you Beast, I'll rip their lungs out.
Mr. Joker. You say such beautiful things. Oh, and you're so powerful and purple.
And with that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Matt, thank you for joining.
Yep. Take care. Have a good night, everybody.